This is why it's good to, to start something of your own too, so that you will not explain tire without evidence. Have evidence to show Hey everyone, doing Solar here. Welcome to this episode of Bands with D. So in this episode, I'm going to be taking you through a journey of what my life has been like after university, right? So it's been 4 years post graduating from the university, and this is something that I've always wanted to do, to look back, to analyze, think about where my life has, been, what my experience has been through. And I feel like it's, why not share it with members of the community and say, okay, this is it. Let's take stock together. After all, it's a Gen Z lifestyle blog. So during what has it been like? So I graduated from University of UNI in 2019. I still remember that day, I put on an orange gown, and then I got to the convocation grounds. It was held in the stadium, Maracana Stadium, that's what they call it. So, walked in, found my friends, sat there, took a couple of pictures, and then the next day we collected our certificate. 1 week after, we were on our way to NYSC camp. And for me, I studied English, University of Learning, something that makes me happy, although that was the course that they gave me. But looking back right now to where I am, if I did not study English, I probably would not be doing this, right? So it has been quite beneficial to me, and studying English is not, the fact that I studied English is not stopping me from pursuing other things, right? So yeah. So I went for NYSC. I served, or I was posted to Yobe State, Potiskum. That was where we had the camp. So I went to Potiskum, traveled through from Lokoja to Jos, down to Potiskum, and then did the camp, and then returned back, got redeployed to Ibadan. And then I did my NYC in Ibadan and then luckily for us, I don't know if to say luckily for us, was it luck? Or fortunately or unfortunately for us, that was when the whole COVID-19, yes. It was COVID-19 first, the whole COVID-19 virus quarantine, and then we stayed home. I think that started in, was that not March or April, right? Down to when we were going to finish the service in October. So we stayed home for that period. So this is where the luck part comes in. Luckily for us, federal government was paying us our 33k, and I think the 33k stuff started with our set, right? So we got the first 33k in January, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. So we got the first 33k in January. So with the COVID-19 pandemic, it was an opportunity to save, right? We're not doing so much. We're at home. It sounds funny. I know people, the set afterwards were quite pissed. We collected 33k for the whole 12 months. We did not, right? So we stayed at home, and yeah, 33k. Sure, I managed to put the money together, and from that money, I was able to, move down to Ilorin from Ibadan after stashing it. So I had something that was going to, start up life with. So I had my 33k, and around the time when we finished the NYC, that was when the whole NSAS protest broke out. So I remember my own October 20 experience. It's not something I'm going to share here and now. I remember my own October 20 experience, and being a youth corper that day, kind of saved me. I was just returning back to Ibadan and all of that from the whole lockdown stuff. Then I ran into one of my students, and they're like, oh, she's a copper, blah 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 blah. That's another story for another day. Being a core member actually, helped me that day during the whole NSAS test. But like I said, that's another story for another day. So you're done with school, so you're doing NYSC. What are you going to do next? So I remember I started applying for jobs, and then I saw one on the former academic coordinator of our student fellowship. Then I like, will you be in the learning? Yes, why not? What am I doing in Ibadan? Because at that point I was trying to figure out where I was going to stay and everything. Sent my CV. Looking back now, I wish I did not send that CV, because it was not because I didn't want the job to work, because when you compare what your CV was then and how you write it now, you just laugh at how should I say unserious, or how how it lacked details generally. So I sent the CV and she was like, okay. And then I got a call, come to Ilorin. Oh, are you in Ilorin? I said, no, I'm not in Ilorin right now, but I've been in Ilorin by so days. So I'm like, okay, we're going to have an interview. And then I went for the interview and I got the job. It was an internship. It was nice. Ran through the internship for a period of about I think 3 months, yes, 3 months internship. And then after the 3 months internship, I got a job to work full time in one of the sister companies of the brand. And then I worked there for another 6 months. Yes. Is it 6 or 5 months? I think between 6 to 5 months. I worked there as a content um content developer or a digital marketing executive. That was what my offer letter said. So I worked as a digital marketing executive and it was fun. I met a lot of amazing people there. I learned a lot of things. I think that's one of the things that gives me the confidence or gives me confidence as a content creator, as a content developer. So after that, I went on to work as a customer support officer with a logistics company, or should I say logistic tech company. So it was a remote job, my first remote job. So from there, I started traveling between Ilorin and Lokoja, Kogi States, moving here and there, remote work. And I think in October, yeah, October, I got another job to work where I'm presently working now as a content developer, and I've worked there now for about 2 years. So when it comes to jobs, that's it in summary. Since leaving school, completing NYSC, I have worked in, I think, yeah, 3 jobs, and I've worked in at least 3 jobs, and let's say it's been from glory to glory. It's been quite interesting, quite insightful. I've met the number of people, I've learned a number of things, and one thing that I said when I was leaving my first job was I was going to go into freelancing, and I have to give kudos to people who are doing it. I think one thing that I might probably talk about later on in subsequent videos will be freelancing or getting a full time job. But I've done freelancing at the side, and I would say it's quite interesting. Right, you could sit down, and in one day you've gotten double of your salary. You just look at why am I actually doing this job? Why not pursue freelancing full time? But yeah, freelancing is fun. It has its benefits, and then working full time with a brand on its own also has its benefits. So, how would I say that I got these jobs? I've worked in 3 different jobs. How did I get them? For me, one thing that stood out is the power of references. Just having somebody to mention your name and say, "Oh, I know this person. She does this," and then you forward your CV, you send to them, you do the interviews, and then God's willing, you get the job. So one thing that stood out is the power of references. Please don't joke with that. And then also the power of your network, the connections that you have. As an introverted person, I know what the friends that I have or the people that I know are doing. Like one thing that I'm always happy for is like just having the gift of people, and spiritual people say having the gift of men, right? Just having the right people at the right place or at the right time. People who say, "Oh, I know this person does this, I can vouch for this person," and then they put you forward. And one thing you should not joke with when it comes with this connection is that if you don't do excellent work, if you don't do good work, nobody's going to refer you to anybody. Like it's just plain fact. And one thing is even with the freelancing that I said I've done, it comes from it still comes from within my network and say, "Oh, I know that this person does this, and I will try this person out for this particular gig." And that's how it has worked so far in terms of freelancing and in terms of getting jobs, right? Send CVs, apply. But now that I think about it, even when you apply for jobs on job boards like LinkedIn, Jobberman, one question that the company will ask you is, "Do you know anybody who worked with us? Did anybody refer you? What's your referral code?" I've seen questions like that pop up. So it's good to have like good networks of people. And if you do have good networks, you see when people share job opportunities, you see it. "Oh, we have an opening in our company." You apply. This is how you get access to all of these things. So I think that'll be my first tip in this video. Please maximize your personal networks, said maximize. Maximize your connection opportunities that you get. Join platforms, join groups. I think one group that stands up for me would be Yali. Join Yali if you can. Like to volunteer. Yeah, I think I should talk about volunteering. Volunteering is also something that is quite beneficial if you're looking for jobs. It might look like working for free, but it's actually gaining experience, you're learning. And I think with volunteers, there's always a lot of work to do. You can never stop volunteering. The tasks that are being assigned to volunteers will never end, they will never stop. So keep volunteering for as much as you can. Yeah, look into volunteering. Okay, so let me talk about tech or no tech skills. So for me, before graduating from school, I 2018 when the blog started, I started to think that what was I going to do? I studied English. Will I be a teacher? I started, getting afraid. But then I started learning that people who studied English, you could work as customer support officers. Then did not have this much prestige that it's having now. You could work as customer support officers. You could work with telecommunication companies. You could work as, PR and media consultants and many jobs like that, radio stations. So I thought, okay, why not start a blog, right? I didn't even know so much that social media marketing was something that was, or social media management was something that was going to become big later on, or content creation was going to be something that becomes big later on. I mean, if you go on and tell anybody that you're going to be a content creator between 2017 2018, they will laugh at you. What are you saying? I mean, we saw guys like Twice, yeah, I think Twice was quite popular then, Craze Clown. But for many people, they didn't really understand what was going on. So I tried my hands on blogging. I started a blog, pushing content. And by the time it got to that 2020 period where everyone was at home, COVID struck, that was when I think social media started to pick off. Since we're all working, people were working remotely, social media started to pick off. I put my hands into it, I learned it, started pushing the blog, man. I must say, from 2020 to 2023, it has been quite interesting, quite insightful, and I'm happy that I started the blog. So, as someone who's leaving school, someone who's graduating, someone who's thinking about what are you going to be doing after university, please and please and please and please try your hand on tech skills or non-tech skills. You can work as a non-tech person in the tech industry, be it cybersecurity. Those are things that are beginning to take off now in Nigeria. Cyber security, data analytics, social media management, content creation, all sorts of digital marketing, coding, we are a tech bro, we are a tech sis. Please and please try to pick up some of those tech skills. But if you also do not want to work in the tech industry, because I still feel the tech industry is something that is growing in Nigeria, you can try your hands at other entrepreneurial skills. Try baking, try fashion designing, furniture making, leather works. People think that these things are less prestigious, but I don't see it that way. The kind of money that those guys are raking in, you you'll be amazed. Those guys are raking in money, right? It's not easy. Nothing is easy at first start. Like this YouTube channel, this is something that is new to me. Video content creation is something that is new to me. But when I think in the back of my head, I know that okay, this is something that might, not might. This is something that would open some certain doors at times where I did not realize. The same way I started off blogging, and it has definitely opened some doors to me. The same way I'm doing this video content creation, and I know that definitely something is going to pop off out of it. So try your hands at skills. Cannot know too much of skills, to your book, to your knowledge, add more learning, to more learning, add more knowledge, add wisdom. Just keep adding skills. It's definitely going to pay off. So you might not want to continue with, you might not want to learn skills. You might want to continue with your education, right? Everybody's jackpine. Jackpine, as I learned recently during a debate, tech talent flight or talent flight in Nigeria and all of that. Should you continue with your education? Should you run your masters? Should you get a PhD degree? Well, it depends on what you want to use it for. I think some of the things I've said on this blog post are things I've talked about on the blog. I'll be linking them in the description. Please look out for them. So should you pursue a master's degree or should you get a job? I think it depends. Personally, I think it depends on what you want, right? So if you want to pursue a career in academics, definitely you need to continue with your education. By academics, I mean you want to be a professor, you want to be all of that, you want to be a lecturer. Definitely you need to continue with your education, get your master's, go ahead and get your PhD. Some people feel it's a means for them to jump. If that is a reason for you to, want to further your education, I don't think it's bad. You can continue with that. Apply for master's degrees abroad or doctoral degrees abroad, get scholarships, and jump if that's what you want. But if you're not decided on what you want to do with the master's degree, please, education in Nigeria is getting cost and it's stressful. Think about it properly before you put your hands into it, because it's not something that you want to put your hands into and then you withdraw after. No, it's a waste of time and waste of resources for you if that's what you want. But if you feel you want to get additional knowledge, please go ahead. Why I usually think that people should think deeply about it before they put their hands in is because there was a certain point in Nigeria where getting a master's degree is addition if you want to get a job or you can get a PhD, right? So they were saying BSc is now like why everybody has BSc, that everybody should go and do masters. Before we knew it, people started having a lot of masters. For all of us want to get the same entry level jobs where they're paying you 33K or 50K and then you are going for your masters, because does not make sense. And then people after doing masters go ahead to get PhD. The PhD holder that you're doing, you're not using it to add to research work, you're not using it to add to the society, you're just getting it because you want to get an entry level job. I think that's unfair, right? It's good enough to say you want to get a master's degree because you want to further your you want to get probably a promotion in your job, understandable, totally fine. And it's also good enough to say you want to get a master's degree because there are certain jobs that require it. I've actually applied for a job where they say, oh, do you have a master's degree? And I was like, okay. So for me, right now, I'm currently running my master's. I think I started, no, not that I think, I started in 2022. This is 2023. And yeah, I'm halfway done. I'm halfway done. So I'm currently running the last piece of the master's degree, which is the research work, right? So it's something that, I'm happy about. But as at the point of leaving school, it was not something that I thought I was going to pursue. I'm happy that I started a career before I put my hands into it and say, oh, I'm doing a master's degree. Now I'm wondering, okay, I have a master's degree. What next? What will I be doing with it? But somewhere in the back of my head, I already know that this is what the master's degree is going to do for me, especially since saying that some jobs do actually require you to have these degrees, yes. But if you do not know what you are doing with it, please know. And some other people get master's degree because they are tired of staying home, sitting at home. It's fine. Just make sure that your reasons are justifiable enough for you, because education in Nigeria now is getting expensive. However, like I've said, this is not to deter you. Just know why you need it, know what you're pursuing it for. And if you feel you just want to have a master's degree just for the sake of having it, it is fine. There are people that have up to 7 degrees. After this master's degree, I myself am beginning to consider how you're about to pursue something else. Education is not too much, right? So just make sure you know what is in it for you before putting in your hands to it. Okay, so let me talk about the power of social media, right? Post university. Well, everything you still point back to 2020, where the whole NSAS, staying home, COVID-19, social media is something that has bloomed, something that has grown, and for me, I find it valuable, right? Social media might have is bad side, negative side, but it's still quite positive. So if you are a creative, if you're into music, if you're into acting, and then you're not on social media, so many things will happen to you. And if you're looking for jobs and you're not on social platforms, so many things will also happen. Social media is a place that you can, show off your skills. Like I said, when I was starting out, having a blog for me was it. And then social media, everything came up and I took Instagram quite seriously. I paused after a while, but I took Instagram quite seriously, took social media quite seriously. I was able to build a community around my blog, able to reach more people, and so far I would say I've made lots of friends from social media. For somebody who is quite introverted, I've met people through social media. I've gotten, job recommendations or job offers through social media. So please don't joke with social media. I've seen people's lives change just because they were on Twitter. Now it's called X. People's life have changed just because of that. I've seen people get jobs through LinkedIn. Please maximize your LinkedIn account. If you don't have one, go ahead and create one now. We definitely need it. One thing that I've learned again since leaving university, starting a career for 4 to 5 years is, please know that you yourself, you're a brand. When applying to jobs, right, jobs would or companies would always tell you about the parts that benefit them. They'll tell you about how they cannot offer you some certain amounts for your pay. Especially when you're negotiating pays. I think that's one mistake that I made. Negotiating pay, something I'm battling and struggling with. But negotiating pay, right? Know your worth, know what you're bringing to the company. They might tell you that you don't have experience, all those things. This is why it's good to start something of your own too, so that you will not explain tired without evidence. Have evidence to show off, like, okay, I did this at one point, especially if it is a career that you want to pursue. You cannot say that you want to go into product design and then you don't have a portfolio that is showing your prospective employers what work you've done. You cannot just say that you're just starting, even if it's certifications, have something, right? You cannot say you're a content creator and then you cannot point to a social media page that says this is content that I've created, whether a website or newsletter, and then we cannot say this is something that you have done. So please don't explain tire, get evidence, because when it's time to negotiate pay, it's going to come in handy for you. Because I think like I was saying, companies will tell you how it benefits them, and I think you should also consider yourself as, how does it benefit you? See yourself as a business. The company might say they are paying staff, you too, you're paying yourself, you have a family to take care of, you're going to give people money, you're going to feed, your own operating and running costs. Put it into account when you're negotiating for pay, when you're about to work with a company. If they're offering you health insurance, life insurance, okay. If they're offering you stock options or shares in the company, okay as well. But please negotiate like you yourself, you're a business, you're not working for free. Companies will tell you that your family, company culture, and all of that. There's nothing wrong in it, right? But at the end of the day, like they say, if something happens to you, the company will replace you in no time, because business goes on. So please treat yourself as a business when it comes to applying for jobs and roles, negotiating job offers. So, well, I hope you found this video quite helpful when it comes to what you want to do after university or after the university. I think that when I was leaving school, I think the set that I got into school the year when I was leaving are those who are graduating right now. And it's really interesting to say that, oh, this is how far I have come. Oh. Yes, I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget, use social media, learn skills, tech or non-tech skills, learn skills, have evidence. Yes, have evidence. Treat yourself like a business. Value your social networks, network people, connect with people. Yeah, don't just say connect with people, right? Connect with people. And again, have evidence. If you loved this video, I hope you did love this video. Please share a comment on what your experience has been like. If you've left uni, please drop a comment. If you have questions, please drop a comment. I'm sure people will definitely respond. I myself will definitely respond. All the blog posts that are related to this topic, I'm going to be linking them in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Follow any drops on social media. Watch all our other videos. And till I come your way again, a drop of funny for your day.